Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Gothic 2. Last time, we finished our business in the Valley of Mines and came back to Corinnes to find out demonic cultists are everywhere, but at least we can go and get the Eye of Innes, which is a bonus, you know. So we have to now go to the monastery and get just that. However, before that, there's a few things I want to do around the city.
Good
First,
thing you're here. You need to help me.
we have Diego over here.
What is this about?
A lot of things have changed since I left here. I have to get back on my feet somehow.
What's the problem?
I have to get into the upper quarter. But I'm not a citizen of the town, and I don't have enough money to bribe the guards. That's where you come in.
So you want me to lend you some gold?
Nonsense. I've got some gold. A whole lot of gold, even. Unfortunately, I don't have it with me. You need to go fetch my gold for me.
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me?
Have I ever asked you what you could give me in return? We're friends. Shouldn't that be enough?
Fair.
Okay, I'll help you.
I've hidden a small fortune in the Valley of the Mines. I was going to go and get it, but unfortunately there's a bunch of orcs hanging out near the stash. To cut a long story short, you must go to the Valley of Mines for me and fetch my gold.
Why can't you fetch it yourself?
Because some orcs are hanging out near the stash. You're just the right person for this job, believe me.
Where's the gold hidden?
Directly at the trading square, above the abandoned mine. It's in a leather satchel. I was going to go and get it, but unfortunately there's a bunch of orcs hanging out near the stash. But don't forget to check that it's the right one, so you don't walk all that way for nothing.
How can I recognize it?
It's full of gold. A whole lot of gold.
Diego, you said about 5 times there's a bunch of orcs there.
Where did you get all that gold?
Am I the only one, then, who put some gold aside for himself in the Valley of Mines? Filching a few nuggets was a piece of cake, just in case we ever got out of there. Everybody was so keen on that ore that no one even cared for gold at the time.
Fair. Fair.
What are you planning to do with the gold?
I still have an account to settle with one of the merchants in the upper quarter. I need to take care of that. And then I'll be all set for a new career.
Alright.
I'll try to find your gold.
Just do it. That's enough for me.
And I have it.
I found your gold.
Great. Show me. Very good. Gerbrant had better watch out now. Listen, I still need to take care of the guards. I want you to take this letter to Gerbrant. He is one of the fat merchants in the upper quarter. Give him my regards. I'll meet you in front of Gerbrant's house then.
Alright, that's easy enough. Gerbrant is literally just up ahead. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Hello?
Hey.
Diego says hello.
What? Who? What Diego?
And he wants me to give you this letter.
That can't be. No. I'm a goner. Is he in town then?
Who?
Diego, of course.
Yes, I'm gonna meet him here shortly.
Oh, this is the end then. All is lost. I've got no time. I need to get out of here. Quick. If he finds me here, I'm done for.
That's a reaction. Meanwhile, Diego walking right past him, it seems. I'll talk to you later. Now, though, I'm gonna go to the farm there, because there's some stuff for us to do there. See you in a moment. Here we are. You can even see Zadas's tower from here, actually. Never noticed that. Huh. Where? Okay, he's over there. Yep. So, interesting thing going on this farm. See that stone circle there? Yeah.
Hey. How's your farm?
I can't stand it anymore. All of a sudden, these fellows in black hoods showed up and posted themselves on the road and on my farm. I spent a long time talking to Vino, and then they disappeared with him. Short time later, my wife took deathly ill again. She spends most of the time just lying in bed. And that happens to her frequently. I'm falling apart here.
Have you talked to the men in black?
Sure. There was no way to prevent it. I think they're looking for someone.
Not me, Shirley.
Why don't you do anything about those black robes?
Well, I'd surely love to, but I saw how they burned one of the townspeople alive. Just like that. Why should I risk my life?
Why don't you take your wife to the healer?
We ought to go to the city to see Vatras about it. But I won't budge an inch from my farm as long as things are so chaotic here.
What was their business with Vino?
They didn't say. They just took him with them.
Where did they drag Vino off to?
They went up that hill with him.
Welp. We can get Vatras to help his wife. But before that, we are fighting these guys. Important note here. There's 4 of these dudes. 3 here, 1 in the middle of the circle. And then there's Vino behind them. As soon as you kill one of these dudes, any one of them in particular, what's it called? They will murder Vino. So what you have to do is aggro them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get them to low HP. Like that. Then back off a bit. Drink a potion or 2. And then go for the finishing. Well, aggro this guy too. Good. And now we can go for the last guy as well.
But they're smashing each other's skulls.
And that way, Vino survives. And now for the next section here. We pick up all of the stuff here. And then we talk to Vino. Hey, Vino. I heard you are not fine. You better, bro? Uh-oh.
Soon we shall command them all. You and your pathetic magic skills are no danger to us.
He is possessed, which is actually a unique questline to being a mage. Now I recommend just shooting him once and then beating the shit out of him so he doesn't actually die. And then looting him, getting the Almanac of the Possessed. Because that does semi-matter. And then wait for him to, you know, stand back up. If you shoot him with magic, he will permanently die, which is less than ideal. Come on.
Oh man, my head.
Get
Wait a
it?
minute. You're not yourself.
My head. I can't stand it anymore.
You should go to the monastery. Pyrokar, the highest fire magician, might be able to help you.
Do you think? Well, okay, I'll give it a try.
Yep. These guys are going around and, well, causing people to become demon-infested, demon-possessed, demon-possessed. Which, you know, isn't very fun. But at least Vino has been taken care of now. I think we can report that to Sekop. And then we can possibly also grab the stuff for his wife. We also got a book for doing this, the Almanac. Highly recommend you do not.
Can I help?
Oh,
It would be wonderful if you could go to Vatras and get me my medicine. He'll know what is to be done. I can't do it anymore.
okay, I actually thought this was just her, like, groaning and stuff like that, he gives the quest, but apparently she does. Whoops.
Hey,
Any
you.
comment about Vino?
Vino isn't going to come back. They drove him insane.
Bye, Innes. Hopefully this nightmare will be over soon.
Watch out for your farm.
I'll try.
And now we're gonna go and meet Vatras. Again, strongly recommend do not open this book until later. Until you're in the monastery. So, see you at Vatras. Alright, let's just go over here just to talk to Diego.
I delivered the letter.
Very good. How did Gerbrand take it?
He was rather shocked and made himself scarce right away.
I should think so. I'm afraid that, first of all, I need to attend to furnishing my new house. If I remember correctly, Gerbrand's taste is horrible.
Eh.
The house is yours then?
Yes, from cellar to attic, with all the furnishings. Having spent several years in less than befitting quarters, I'm looking forward to sleeping in a soft four-poster bed. And then, for breakfast, I'll have a fine wine and some excellent ham.
You don't miss any chances, do you?
You betcha.
Good for you.
So how did you pull this off?
Did you think that Gerbrand came by his fortune through honest business? Of course, he never got his fingers dirty when it came to really shady deals. He had a helper for that. Of course, I caught on to a lot back then. Gerbrand finally got rid of me. He was probably afraid that I knew too much.
You never told me about that.
You never asked me.
There.
What about Gerbrand?
He has enjoyed the good life for far too long. He was living here in the lap of luxury while I was forcing down meat bug stew. I have no idea where he went from here, but he'll never get a foothold in Corinus again. I'll see to that. If you're looking for him, you should try the Harbor District.
What about my share?
Looks like you haven't forgotten everything I've taught you after all. But you're right. I couldn't have done it without you. Here's your share.
We get 500 gold. Another thing to do while you're here. Remember how there's a shop here that keeps updating the inventory with rare goods? Right on the left. I believe as of now, chapter 3, he has a rune.
Show me.
Nope, he does not. Then that's next chapter. Damn. Could buy some speed potions. Yeah, they're gonna be really useful in a moment here, so I'm gonna buy 3 of them. Well, see you at Vatras. By which I mean, can I actually just straight up get to him by jumping here?
There, where Adanos stood, was a place in which Enos and
I'm so going to die.
had no power.
There. See you there in a moment.
And Adanos was
Easy enough.
pleased with what had arisen.
Let me see.
Lobart's wife Hilda is sick.
What? Again? The good woman should take better care of herself. One hard winter and she won't be with us anymore. All right. I will give her a medicine to reduce the fever. Oh, and while you're at it, you might as well drop it off with her.
Okay. Anything else? That's it. Back to the farm. Merry Christmas to you too, sheep. Although it's a bit late for that, but sure. Merry Easter? Have your medicine.
I've got your medicine.
Really, our society needs more people like you. Thank you so much. I hope that these few coins are enough.
That's 50. That's already decent. And with that, I am now officially off to the monastery. See you there.
Hey.
Okay, I figure I just should show this. Since it's been a while since we beat the boss per. How much money did I earn from random skins?
I've got a few skins for you.
A sheepskin.
I wouldn't dream of...
Let me see.
Wolfskin.
10?
Warg
300?
skin? What the hell is this skin?
I ripped a troll off for that one.
That. Good work.
About 1k. That's decent. Well, see you all back at the monastery for real this time. And we have arrived at the monastery. First, there's Jorgen here.
You.
I see you belong to the Magician's Monastery.
Yes, why?
Can you use another worker there? I wouldn't know where else to turn.
Where do you come from?
I used to be captain of a big whaler, my boy. The sea is my home. My ship, the good old Magdalena, was sunk by pirates a few months ago, and now I'm stranded here. All I ever wanted was to go back to sea. But since I've come here, not one schooner is called at this accursed port. The only ship which is anchored in Corinthus is that blasted war galley of the king, and they don't take on anyone. So what else can I do? There's no work for me in town. I've tried everything.
I'll see what I can do. Probably nothing, but I'll see what I can do. We are finally back home, I guess? At the monastery? Still, well, it kind of looks like a monastery. But for some reason, the way it's set up, I kind of think more of an eastern monastery than a western one. But meh. Like with monks and stuff. Not that technically these aren't monks, but you know. Oh, hey, Milton.
How did you get to the monastery so fast?
What kind of a question is that? I crept through the pass and made my way straight to the monastery. Admittedly, it was never easy avoiding all the monsters making themselves at home on this side of the valley, but ultimately I encountered fewer problems than I expected.
Yeah, I mostly killed all of those.
Do you know where the others are?
Gorn seems to have coped with his stay in Garan's dungeon very well. In any case, he wanted to go to Lee and see what was happening on the farm. After the grub they serve in the dungeon, he's probably stuffing his face right now and putting the mercenaries' provisions to a real test.
True.
Diego mumbled something about a reckoning. No idea what he meant by that. But I suspect he's in the city. You know him. Always there when there's something to be had.
Do you know anything about the hooded figures?
No, but I have a bad feeling about those guys. Be careful if you run into them.
I want to learn some new spells.
Alright, he can teach you spells, but both of them don't really matter. Let's keep going. Open the door. First and foremost, just quickly report to Palan. Hey, I want to increase my magic power.
I want to increase my magic powers.
Oh, he still can do that.
Your magic power has grown. I cannot help you to increase it more. If you want to learn more, ask Pyrocar.
There we go.
Teach me the third circle of magic.
Yes, the time has come. Enter now the third circle of magic. New spells await you. You will need them, for evil draws nigh, and it can be thwarted only with the power of Innos. I have now taught you all of the circles that I can pass on. Karas will instruct you in the higher circles.
Will it ever change?
May Innos protect you.
We now know the third circle, which I'll get to later. But currently, I think it's more important to, you know, report to Pyrocar. Oh, by the way, though, what is this book? For some reason, I have delayed reading until now. Well, evil aura has overtaken us, and we can see Vino Fernando Malak Bromor. Well, we know some of those people. Wonder what that means. Hello.
I've come from the old Valley of Mines.
What do you have to report?
The enemy has formed up there with an army of orcs and dragons.
We have already learned that from Milton. But what about the king's shipment of ore?
The mine they are digging for Garand in the valley cannot satisfy the demands of the king.
The days are becoming grayer, and the light of the sun is ever weaker.
I was attacked by men in black robes.
I know. Those are the Seekers, henchmen from the nether realms of Beliar. Beware of them. They will try to take possession of you. Once possessed, you will no longer be yourself. Only here in the monastery could you find help then, so be careful.
How about that?
asked Karas to look into this matter. He will certainly win some further insight soon, which can make us see clearer. Here, this rune will bring you directly back to the monastery if you need our help. Remember, we must offer resistance, or we shall all be doomed.
Fair enough.
I have come to take the Eye of Innos.
I see that you have received an authorization from Lord Hagen himself to bear the Eye of Innos. I am afraid that I have to disappoint you. We have fallen victim to a treacherous plot of the enemy. The Eye of Enos has been violently taken from these sacred walls.
Who could be so impudent, Master?
Evil is cunning, and usually works in secret. Only rarely do you see it emerge to pursue its evil machinations in broad daylight. But these days, it's a different matter. The enemy now shows himself openly in the street, in every home and every public square. This can only mean that he no longer fears any adversary and is not going to shrink back from anything. One of our most faithful followers, a candidate for the high robe of the Magicians of Fire, has changed his allegiance unexpectedly, and in an alarmingly evil manner. Pedro.
No.
The enemy has taken possession of him, thus inflicting a terrible defeat upon us. Pedro has forced his way into our most sacred halls and stolen the eye. I fear that he simply spent too much time by himself, outside of the gates, and thus beyond the protective walls of the monastery, exposed to all lurking dangers.
Where did the thief flee to?
Pedro knocked down some of the other novices who tried to stop him and disappeared into the morning mist. Many novices have gone after him to bring the eye back to its place unharmed. If you want to catch up with them, you need to hurry before Pedro disappears out of your reach.
Of course, but hey, by the way...
I've found a strange almanac.
Really? What kind of an almanac is that?
I'm not sure. I thought you would know what to do with it.
Forsooth, that is very disquieting. I am glad that you brought it to me. That was very wise. I assume that there are more of these. Go and find more of these books of damnation. I suspect that it is an instrument of the Seeker's power. They use it to control the lost souls of their victims. They obviously write down the names of those whom they are planning to possess in these books. Listen, I am giving you this magical letter. It will show you the names which are written in the books. Find those victims and bring me their books. I shall dispose of them. But first, you ought to show at least one of them to Karas. Maybe that will help him in his studies. Do not make the mistake to try and destroy them yourself. You are not ready to withstand their power. Do not get close to the Seekers, or they will take possession of you.
Fair
If you
enough.
still find yourself unable to resist their call, come back to me as fast as you can. Only here in the monastery can your soul be saved.
Is there no protection against their mental attacks?
That is possible. Karas could know something about that.
What can I learn now?
First of all, you are now entitled to learn about the circles of magic. They will give the high.
Oh, that's an old one. Heal my possession, please.
Heal me, Master, for I am possessed.
So be it. Take this potion. It will relieve you of your nightmares. May the mercy of Enos be your salvation. Act on his behalf and beware of the evil eye of the enemy.
Also,
Parlan sent me. I want to increase my magic powers.
Well, you have learned a lot, and your strength has grown. From now on, you will learn from me.
not that I need to right now, but that's an option. By the way, you know us after we read the book, what that book does is it makes us possessed, which means if we try to go to sleep, let me see if I can still show it off, we will no longer be able to heal. Which, as you know, for me, is something I love doing. So, if we ever get possessed, we go to our friend Pyrocar and get ourselves one of these. In which case the possession will be healed, and we can just go into the bed and sleep it off. Now there's a few things we can do right now, like going to the landowner to see Gorn, and going around finding the people who are currently possessed. But I want to... well, that is partially what I will do right now, as I meet people. But what I really want to do now is talk to Serpentis here, because he has a really good quest for us at this point.
Not so fast. I have another task for you.
And that is...
Now that you belong to the Brotherhood of Fire, you must also fulfill the duties that come with being one of us. The Church is not only concerned with the affairs of magic, it is also the final authority in the administration of justice, as you know. The latest case brought before us opens up a bottomless abyss and must be dealt with once and for all.
And that is?
Isn't that the militia's business?
The militia is responsible for the city alone. This affair has far-reaching consequences.
What's this about?
There is someone in the city who has sold falsified shares in the ore mines of the former penal colony. These papers are utterly worthless and of no importance, really. Still, they have the potential of stirring up trouble among the people, which we cannot afford to happen right now. The swindler is supposed to have approached all of the most reputable traders in the city and the country, and has evidently managed to sell his counterfeit mining shares to some of them. Find this evildoer and bring him before this panel. In such hard times, we must not suffer swindlers and plunderers. We must make an example of him in order to deter the rest of the mob.
Of course, I will do what I can.
I'll try to clear up the matter.
One thing more. When you visit those traders, do not let them know that you are looking for mining shares. I think they probably want to sell them on, and certainly would no longer offer them to you if they realized that you are dealing with them on behalf of the church. Do you see?
Yes.
Then get to work. I wish you much success, brother.
Is there anything else you want to tell me?
No.
Alright, anything from you?
One more little thing. Stay away from the roadside shrines. We have heard that some of them have been desecrated. No one can say what effect they have now. It is not your task to solve this problem. The paladins will take care of this matter.
Yep. Alright, so I was wrong about the actual possession thing, I think. This is the one that's different depending on if you're a mage or a paladin. If you're a mage, you get the Ore Shares quest. If you're a paladin, you get the Shrines quest. So there's something. But first and foremost, what I want to do is check out our level 3 spells. Is it this one? First circle. Nope. Must be this one then. Whoop. Third time's the charm. Yes. We have Heal Medium Wounds, Small Firestorm, Great Skeleton, Fear, Ice Block, and Ball Lightning. All of those are useless. Because, frankly speaking, none of those are any good. Ball Lightning is a terrible spell. Same for its fire... What's it called? Oh, Vino, you're here.
Yeah, all right already. But I have to say, they're wine.
Alright, he got healed. Nice. I actually know he comes here to get healed. Nice. Let me just show it off here. Because he should have all the scrolls. So where is Ball Lightning? It's literally lightning with a ball icon next to it. But I legitimately cannot find it. There it is. It does maximum, for maximum 60 mana, does 180 damage. So that is 10 per 30 damage. Meanwhile, Fireball is 10 for 60 damage. Firebolt is 5 for 30 damage. Needless to say, not worth it. The other spells like Summon Skeleton is kinda good, but if you have the level 1 spell Summon Goblin Skeleton, that's legitimately better. And we're about to get it for free, that rune as well, so not worth it. Fear isn't good, but we already have Fear anyway. The only one I actually want is Heal Medium Wounds. Because Heal Medium Wounds, although not that good either, is a very good use of mana to HP. So that we no longer really need HP potions.
Teach me.
So teach me? Oh, you do not teach Heal Medium Wounds. I thought it was you. I don't think it's you, is it? It's probably you.
Hey, you.
Brother, you cannot lose any time. You must hunt down Pedro and return the Eye of Innos to the monastery. If the eye is not retrieved, we shall all be lost.
Yeah, all in its time.
Teach me.
No, you're also not that guy. Really? Who teaches me cure medium wounds? Pretty sure it's not you.
Hey, you!
Yeah, it isn't. Who has cure medium wounds here again? That's these three. Is it you?
He never would have thought of that himself.
Yes, it is. Heal medium wounds.
Never gonna change that.
Again, you don't really have to pick that up. There's plenty of money for potions. But even the maximum potion isn't that great. So I like going for heal medium wounds because it generally is a good one to have. And again, it's much cheaper in MP to HP. As you can see, it heals 200, which is double of maximum from a potion. Only 7 MP, which is, again, really good. But I think I'm gonna call it here. Next time, we're gonna chase Pedro for, well, the Eye of Innes. And we're gonna hope, and we're gonna deal with the Possessed and the mining ore shares. Also, I hope. See you all then.